What's up, guys? Just want to come to you tonight and just talk to you about a couple of things that has actually been on my mind. I guess the first thing is just about being consistent. I said I was going to do 2 videos a day. This is my first one today, so that means tomorrow I'm going to do 3. I'm going to do 3 videos tomorrow. 2 that I'm supposed to do and 1 to make up for what I didn't do today. In Cleveland, we were going to have the storm of the century. I think it may have rained. I don't know, kind of rained off and on, but it really came down for about 10 minutes, and that was the storm. So it kind of threw everything off today. But with that saying, I guess I want to talk to you about consistency. And what's the opposite of consistency? That's procrastination. And procrastination is one of those things that, and just to be transparent, it's one of those things that I kind of dealt with and still deal with to an extent. I have to make a conscious decision not to procrastinate. I used to have a saying when I was growing up: why do today what you can do tomorrow? Well, that's a great saying if you don't ever want to get anything done, because when it's the next day, why do that day what you can do the next day? And things end up not getting done until you're right up against that deadline, and then you're rushing and cramming trying to get things done. When I was in college, I remember kind of goofing off the entire time, but then when it was test time, I would stay up all night and cram and put in as much information as I can, and I never did as well as I thought I could do. I did get by, but it wasn't pretty, trust me. So what I'm talking about is that how do you overcome procrastination? Guys, if you have some ideas, please leave me in a comment down below what you've done to overcome procrastination. One of the things that I'm doing now, I feel like I'm in an AA meeting here, but one thing that I'm doing now to overcome procrastination is just do it now. Just don't put it off, just do it now. Don't think about it, just do it now. If that means talking to somebody, do it now. If that means doing something physical, do it now. Don't procrastinate, don't put it off. They say procrastination is the assassination of inspiration. Well, that's true. And some of the most successful people that I've talked to and had the privilege of meeting, they say do it now. Like Nike said, just do it. Well, a good mentor of mine back in Mobile, Alabama, Chris Corsentino, used to tell me back in the days, Ceasar, just do it now. Do it now, do it now, do it now. So with that said, guys, that's the approach. That's my motto for 2017. Do it now. How much can we really get accomplished? So while we're talking about do it now, what are some of the things that you are doing now that you weren't doing? Kind of shifting just a little. I find myself reading more. We're actually on a college campus right now. We're on our way to the library, and that was one of the places where I probably didn't spend a lot of time growing up, was the library. I think one of the first books I really read and really got into, other than Tales of the Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume, the next book was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Because I actually had the privilege of meeting Robert Kiyosaki the latter part of last year. We were flying out of, I think I was flying out of Vegas into Washington, D.C., and me and my wife ran into Robert Kiyosaki. But I'm glad I ran into him, because I was actually able to tell him, hey, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read Cash Flow Quadro. I read If You Want to Be Successful, Don't Go to College. I read those books. So we were able to compare some things, and he was talking to me about something called the rise of the robots. And that's how robots are going to replace all the manual labor jobs that people do today. Robots are going to replace it. And he said, hey, that's a great book. You need to check that book out. Well, just looking at the news just the other day, Phoenix, I think it's Arizona, Phoenix, or maybe Glendale, I'm not sure. But in Phoenix, there's a McDonald's being completely ran by robots. I read it just yesterday. I just read it 2 days ago. Being completely ran by robots. They can produce 10,000 hamburgers per hour. Guys, that's scary. That's scary, because the accuracy is going to be there. But what about all those people who are not going to have a job? So what I'm saying, always be bettering yourself. Always be growing, learning more, doing more, becoming more. In this job market, things are very tough. But you got to work on yourself. You got to better yourself. Are you getting up in the morning going to a job you really don't want to go to? Guys, that's my motto. I say that a lot, because I did it for years. I went to a job I didn't want to go to, and then eventually I changed how I thought about that. Even though I didn't want to be there, I started thinking about, something, they are using me for money. they're giving me a paycheck. How can I use them for knowledge? So I started learning everything I can. I started showing up early. I started staying late. I started doing things to make myself better when I go to the next spot. And I did that, and I did that, and I did that. And we went to the next spot. And then eventually I started wanting to own my own business. Now that's a whole nother animal, a whole nother beast right there. But you're right back on that potter's wheel, as some people would say, because now you got to learn how to be a businessman. You got to learn how to have thick skin. You got to learn how to be self-motivated. You can't procrastinate. You got to be able to put smart people around you, people that you aren't intimidated by because they know something that you don't know. So guys, there's a lot of learning that took place in that, and we did that for several years. But then things started to change with me. I felt like I was supposed to do something else. I felt like, just to be frank about it, I felt like the Lord said, Caesar, you need to do more than what you're doing. So that's why we're doing this today. We're just finding a way to give more, to be more, to give to people. Man, there's a need out there. There's people hurting out there. What are you doing today to better somebody else's life? Because those are the things that money is great. Don't get me wrong, I like money. I like nice stuff. I like nice cars. I want a nice house. But I can't take those things with me. But if I can impart something into other people's lives, and then it can go on, and it can go on, and it can go on, and you can pay it forward. A good friend of mine, I'm not going to name names here, but a good friend of mine said something to me. I will name names. A good friend of mine, Troy Weathers, said to me, he said, Caesar, you don't have to have a reason to help somebody. And that gentleman helped me out more than he'll ever know. One day he will know. He didn't just help us out. He helped us out in a lot of ways. I'm just going to leave it at that. He helped me out in a lot of ways. But he told me something. He said, Caesar, you need to create additional streams of income. So guys, I started on a journey a year or so ago, looking for ways to create additional streams of income. Guys, and I'm glad I did. But not to get too far off subject, what we're talking about tonight is just being consistent. Be consistent in the things that you want. Be consistent in what you want out of life. If you want something, go after it. You're going to have to lose a little sleep. Maybe you have to lose a lot of sleep. You may have to lose a few friends. Maybe you have to lose a lot of friends. You may have to condition yourself like an athlete working out. An Olympian trains and trains and trains and trains and trains for those few minutes to do his thing or do her thing. So what I'm saying to you, are you training or are you just hoping that it happens? Guys, nothing happens unless you make it happen. Nothing happens unless you make it happen. So what I would say today is pick up a book. Pick up a book. Read a book. Get around people, and I'm going to say this every day. Pick up a book. Read a book. Get around people smarter than you. Garbage in, garbage out. What are you putting in your head? Are you getting up in the morning? Are you spending time in the morning meditating? Are you spending time in the morning praying? Are you going throughout your day knowing that, hey, you can do this. You can do this. You can win. And you can win in a big way. There's a lot of people depending on you to win. So what are you going to do? Guys, go at it. Join us in the fight. Fight with us. We're going to do this. We're going to change people's lives one life at a time, then 2 lives, then 3 lives, then 4 lives, then 5 lives. Guys, we're going to do this. Come with us. And when I say come with us, that's in spirit. I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about in spirit. Get in the fight. There's a lot of people who are looking for what you got, but you got to become better than what you are right now. I don't know where you're at right now, but I know if you're not going after your dreams, you're making somebody else's dream happen. So go after your own dream. Go after it. Sacrifice. Know what you're willing to sacrifice. You got to give up something. You may have to give up the TV. There's nothing wrong with giving up the TV, I'll be honest with you. You may have to cut the radio off. Guys, you can do this. Like I said, leave it down below what you've done to overcome the procrastination. Guys, and what we're going to do, we're going to start a challenge here. Definitely like our YouTube, subscribe to us. This is definitely the infrastructure, the beginning stages of it. But subscribe to us, and we're trying to figure out, me and my team, what we're going to give away. We're going to find something to give away every single week to give away. It may be a book, obviously a brand new book. It may be a gift card to the bookstore. It may be a gift card to a restaurant. Guys, but what I am saying to you is that we want you to be a part of what we're doing. Be a part of this pursuit. Hey guys, good night. 3 videos coming tomorrow.